idea of the ultimate consequence in one direction of expressing what you believe to be true in the face of those that have and contain such great fear that by being shown how much of a God they really are, their only reaction can be one of fear, panic, and hate, to the point where they will actually put to death the reflection that shows them they are unconditionally loved and are aspects of God. That helped to break, to crack that face, that unconscious face in your society. It helped to bring it to the surface, to show how much fear you were in, and to give you a chance to work through that and to understand, more than just euphemistically, that you do not need to be nailed to a cross to be yourselves. You do not need to punish yourselves. You do not need to go through suffering to be yourselves. That's the true meaning, in essence, of that whole play that was given. Is I will do this to show you that this is where you are at, but simultaneously to show you that if you embrace yourself and accept yourself as I have, Yeshua said, you will not need to take this path. But until you do embrace yourself as equal to me, you will constantly kill your joy. You will nail it to a cross. And you will die with it. Until, of course, you are born again and take another stab at it. No pun intended. Well, all right, a little bit. Because after all, Yeshua did have a very good sense of humor. Although most of you are not told that. He laughed all the time. All the time. I mean all the time. Well, not all the time, but you get the point.
Got it.
Is this helping?
Yes, very much.
All right.
And I'm going to change the subject here.
Oh, all right.
I'm going to go into snakes.
Snakes! Another symbol that you have bandied about on your planet in a variety of ways and given a variety of meanings to, pro and con, positive and negative.
I'm having visions lately.
Yes.
I get up at 2 in the morning and then I shut my eyes and all of a sudden there are glittery snakes slithering and then their scales turn into almost luminescent as these crystals here.
Yes.
And then it changes into checkerboards.
Yes.
And I'd like to know, what are they trying to...
It's a very simple symbol. The snake, put on a very basic archetypal terminology, is a symbol for ancient knowledge, all knowledge. That's the glittering scales, the multicolored hues, the rainbow, iridescence, all knowledge. The checkerboard is when you take that broad spectrum of knowledge and suddenly confine it and limit it to the idea of simply a positive and a negative reality, and only see things in black and white. So you are reversing that process, and the snakes are guiding you as a symbol in that way to turn the checkerboard back into iridescent, multicolored scales of infinite understanding and knowledge. Do you follow me? You are now all right. You're becoming all right with eating from the tree of all knowledge and no longer punishing yourselves for doing so.
Interesting.
Does that make sense to you?
It makes deep sense. And it helps take away some fear.
Well, it transforms it, yes. Because you see, fear is your own energy. You are an energy. You're all an energy. You have 100% of your energy there. You experience your energy as joy, love, and excitement when you flow that energy through belief systems that are in alignment and in harmony with your true self. But you experience the very same energy as fear when you simply flow it through belief systems that are out of harmony with your true natural self. So once you define what you prefer to define, once you change the definitions, you then flow that energy of yourself through different definitions, different belief systems, and you change the vibrational flavor of your energy from fear to joy.
And that's what I want more of.
Then you go right ahead and choose it in thought, word, and deed.
Okay, I'm going for it then. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. That is what makes all the difference in your world, literally.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Hi, my name is Natasha.
Oh, all right, Natasha.
Yes. The question
If
that
you're
I'm...
not a Shah, what are you?
The question I am most thinking about
Yes.
is that my professional life, I've gone into a lot of different things, and there were different reasons I chose it.
All right.
And I wasn't following my excitement.
Oh, all right. And now?
And now I'm still not.
Oh, all right.
And I feel I'm going into a direction where I'm about to go on a crossroad where I'm choosing something. And I'm wondering...
Is it your highest excitement?
I guess what I'm asking is how I would uncover my highest excitement, or how I would come closer to...
Oh, all right. Well, may I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Why, thank you.
Yes.
Are you telling me you can't recognize the difference between something that excites you and something that doesn't?
No, I can.
You can?
I can.
Then
yes.
Where's the difficulty?
In choosing what?
I'll ask you the question again.
There's a lot of things that...
Oh, no. I know. No offense, no judgment. I know you humans create a lot of reasons.
Right.
Create a lot of seeming things that you must consider.
Yes.
But really,
right.
You don't.
Okay.
You see, when you understand what excitement is, you will realize why you don't have to always look at every single little detail in order to know what to do. Mm-hmm. Now, let's talk about this on two levels primarily.
Right.
The most fundamental level is this. When we talk about the idea of acting on your joy to the best of your ability, we mean at every given moment on anything.
I see.
It doesn't have to be a career thing, but they're connected.
Right.
So, in other words, if right now, out of all the options you have when you leave this discussion with us, out of all the options you have available to you of things you could choose to do, if you look at all the options and you realize that simply taking a walk or driving your car or calling a friend is the most exciting thing out of all the options, that's the thing to do. Just because it's the most exciting. You don't need a reason why. Mm-hmm. It's the excitement that tells you that's the next thing you need to do. And here's the other level. It's the excitement in the simple things that tells you what simple things are actually connected to the bigger things that excite you. Mm-hmm. And will actually get you there in what may seem to be a roundabout manner, but by following the excitement is actually the shortest, fastest, straightest path. So, every moment, if you simply choose the thing that excites you the most at that moment out of all the things you have available to you, that you have the best ability to actually take action on, do it. Take action on that thing. When you can take action on that thing no further, look around for the next most exciting thing you have the greatest ability to take action on and do that, whatever it is. Even if it doesn't seem connected to anything else, do it because the excitement tells you it is connected.
Okay.
Now, once you start doing that, once you get into that pattern, you will sensitize yourself to the idea of excitement. You'll become a better sensor for the concept of what does excite you and what doesn't, and you won't create so many things to consider
right.
before you will simply be willing to take action on your excitement. Not only because of that, not only because you become a better sensor of it, but also because you begin to understand the principle that excitement is its own self-contained kit and its own driving engine. When you act on your excitement to the best of your ability every moment, you begin to experience synchronistically that the exciting thing you're doing actually contains all of the things you actually need to consider. And what it doesn't contain, you don't need to consider. It's a self-contained kit that always perpetuates more of the same, more excitement, and brings with it the things that actually are important for you to have to look at in that process of continuing and expanding your excitement. So, what doesn't come with it isn't part of that kit and has no business taking time in your life. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Do you think you're actually willing to live this way?
Yes, I'm actually getting emotional about feeling that.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Then perhaps we have struck a chord.
Yes.
That's what you want. You want that passion. You want that vibration. You want to understand that excitement, what you translate as that feeling, that love, that passion, is the vibration of your true natural self in the way you are actually created. That's why it's always the beacon to move toward. You're actually moving toward yourself and more and more and more of yourself every time you are willing to take a step toward your excitement by acting on the situation that contains the most of it without cluttering it up with other things that actually are not a part of that excitement. But if those things come up, you don't deny them, you recognize they're there for a reason. And the reason they're there is for you to understand what information they have for you by processing them that will tell you more about who you are, so that in learning more of who you are, you can continue to act more and more and more every day, every moment on more of your excitement.
Yeah.
Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
As a
does.
process, as an idea, as a
Yes.
mechanism.
It does.
I guarantee to all of you, this is how life works and how it will become an ecstatic explosion of excitement and synchronicity. The more that you trust it, the more that you live it, you will see that it is so. It will prove itself to you. But you have to take the first step. And remember, it is believing is seeing, not seeing is believing.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
And the belief does not have to be foundationless. You will understand that what we are talking about here is simply pure physics. What you put out is what you get back. The more you demonstrate in your behavior to the universe that you're willing to believe that what excites you the most is what you're all about by your actions, the more the universe will reflect more of that back to you. But here's the polarized aspect of it. When you start acting on your joy, don't assume with expectation that you must see things outside of you change. They can and often will. And often very rapidly. When you change your vibration, the outside will often change. However, if it doesn't immediately do so, don't assume you've done something wrong. Don't assume that you are not seeing a representation of your excitement. Understand, every single thing in physical reality, in every single situation and circumstance, serves double duty. They're all neutral props. They have no built-in meaning. So when you know you're following your joy, you might still see the very same scenario all around you manifesting. The difference that lets you know there's a difference is that you respond differently to it than you did before. Not that it looks different, it's that you act differently toward it than you did before. That's what lets you know your reality has actually changed, because no matter what it looks like, you're now only going to get a positive effect out of it. No matter what anyone else's intention in that scenario may be toward you, the only effect you will get is the meaning you've given it. Even if it looks the same as it did a moment ago. Is all of this making some coherent sense to you?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does.
Then I thank you.
Thank you. And I actually wanted to ask another question about something completely different.
Well, we'll see how completely different it is.
I have a friend who had an
You
injury.
do?
Yes.
Amazing. All right.
And she's actually here. She had a knee injury,
Yes.
and she basically tore her ACL, which is in your knee. It's a
Oh,
ligament.
all right.
It's a ligament.
Yes.
And she's wondering if she can help heal herself
Yes.
through whatever way without having to have a surgery.
Yes. Now, there are many ways, of course, and of course it depends upon the person's belief systems.
Right.
However, one of the strongest methodologies that we actually have recommended to other people in exactly the same situation is the idea of a thorough detoxification of the body. Thorough detoxification of the body and the inputting into the body of the appropriate, highly potent, natural, organic nutrients that will allow the body to do what it does naturally, which is repair itself rapidly. The only reason the body would not repair itself rapidly is because there may be things impeding it from doing so. And because your planet and most of your belief systems are not capable in that sense of wishing it away, most of your planet is highly toxic. The food, the water, the air, highly toxic. If you will do a thorough detoxification, or if she will, and then input the proper nutrients, you will find rapid healing can take place in that area. The last person that we recommended this to tore and destroyed every single muscle and ligament in the knee area. In your doctor's estimations, the only solution was surgery. In doing the detox and putting in the proper nutrients, the person was walking again perfectly in 30 days. Do you understand?
Yes.
So, we rarely recommend specific ideas or products. However, in this case, and in this specific case, we will suggest to you a company that exists on your planet in your Los Angeles area called American Botanical Pharmacy. Get their information, do the detox program, put the proper nutrients in, you will heal. All right?
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello.
And to you, good day.
So I'm a healer,
Oh, all right.
and
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. So I'm curious.
Yes, you're a curious healer.
Yes.
All right.
And sometimes I heal the curious.
Thank you.
So what can I do, if anything, to take my healing to the next level, help more people?
Help more people. That is what you are defining as the next level.
In part.
What is the rest of the definition of the next level as you define it?
Fulfill my own potential as a healer.
Fulfill your own potential. Could you please define in some descriptive way for me what you believe an image of your full potential would look like?
Yes. Being able to help anyone who shows up to my office for help.
Yes. Being able to help them in what way?
Achieve the health results they want to achieve.
And what if they have a hidden agenda and don't tell you that they have actually come to you to prove to themselves they can't be healed? Then will your failure to heal them not be a success? Will you not have helped them reinforce the belief they most want reinforced?
I believe that's true.
Then why not relax your expectation and just assume that you've already reached your full potential? Okay. And that there is no way someone would be attracted to you if they weren't getting exactly what they wanted from you, or they would have been attracted to someone else.
Got it. Thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah, very much. Very much.
Did that turn on a light?
I
Click?
believe so, yes.
All right.
Yes. Made me more curious.
All right. You can heal that too.
Thank you. So,
Yes.
I had an experience several years ago where I was on a spacecraft
Yes.
and it flew over the ocean
Yes.
and it was about to make contact with the surface of the ocean.
Yes.
And as soon as it made contact with the surface of the ocean, I opened my eyes and I was in bed.
Yes.
And I couldn't make sense of it because I knew it was not a dream, but yet there I was in my bed.
Well, you see, you understand what is called typically out-of-body experience, yes?
Yeah.
And you understand that many of you, in your sleep state, actually visit other places, yes?
Yes.
Well, in that body, in your spirit body, you were aboard the craft. You were simply so surprised at what the craft was doing that at the moment of impact, it shocked you back into your body in bed.
Oh, thank you.
You understand?
Yes.
Does that help you?
It does. It does.
Anything else?
Oftentimes when I look at license plates
Yes.
or clocks or watches, I get recurring numbers all
Yes.
the time, like, oh.
How many of you get that? All right. You are setting up your own synchronicity, your own signposts for yourself, to give yourself markers to let you know that you're doing what you need to do, that you're in alignment with yourself, that you're on your own correct path.
Got it. Thank you. That's great.
Thank
I
you.
get that. I get that. I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
We're missing you.
Missing me? What are you throwing at me?
No, just joking. joking. I have a couple of questions.
All right, a couple of questions. Speak up and be bold.
Okay. One of them is about the party that you talked about for the 2012, the history that's been set with the Mayans and etc.
Yes.
I was just wondering why the readings that's been happening, let's say 15 years ago, about the Earth changing in between this and this year, are being pushed a little further. Is it because we're not doing?
It's because you're
accelerating?
changing your idea of what you need to go through to wake up.
Okay.
More
So-
of you are understanding you don't necessarily have to shock or shake yourselves awake anymore.
Of course. So I would like reading about the Los Angeles energy, let's say from now until 2012, as far as what's happening with the collective acceleration of the LA County, let's say, or their surrounding area. What do you see happening? Like last time you said that people were so concerned about correcting the politicians and having better representatives for
Yes.
doing good things for the world. It did change an earthquake. That's what has been said then.
Yes.
So
And this
what
will
do you
happen
see-
again, most likely, as we read the energy now, somewhere around your year of 2010.
The earthquake or the change?
Either.
Either.
We're simply telling you what the focal point is in your timeline. 2010. It can still be manifested in a number of ways, but there is a great buildup of energy, and it depends on how it will play out based on what all of you collectively do with your energy in your city.
So you mean negative or positive?
Yes.
There's a build-up from
Yes.
the earth and the people.
Yes. And
Both.
that buildup through the earth and through the people will come to a head and make contact like two circuits coming together, and the spark will be a spark that goes in whatever direction you have created a channel for it to go in.
Okay,
It will
so-
be released in whatever way will be determined by how you position your vibrational energy.
Okay, so maybe in a couple of years that will change, hopefully too, because
Well, we'll see.
yeah.
But again,
Because
the
people are
idea
changing.
is that it can go either way.
Okay, a friend of mine asked about the stellar axis.
Stellar?
Stellar, what's the Earth axis? The let's say the north and the south.
Oh,
pole?
axis.
Axis, yes.
Yes.
What's happening to it in this point of time? The energy of that axis. It's been talked about.
You're talking about an electromagnetic shift?
Yes, or the electromagnetic reading for the moment.
Yes, all right.
Yeah.
The idea that many people on your planet misinterpret is that the idea is that the physical axis will shift. No. The electromagnetic field is shifting, yes. And that can happen sometime within the next 30 years, most likely. First, the signs will be that certain areas of the electromagnetic field on your planet will weaken, and then they will polarize. There may be some electromagnetic disruption during these times. But again, It can be handled slowly, smoothly, softly, gently, or abruptly. It's up to you.
So that is still scheduled as far as the acceleration
Scheduled?
is happening?
Oh, let me look
As
at my
far as
calendar
now.
here.
As far as now, as far as what
It's
you read
still
for the
within
moment.
the energy, yes.
Of course.
But the energy can be handled and manifested in a number of ways. These changes are representative of changes in your collective consciousness, and so that won't change. But how the change is experienced with regard to these physiological phenomenologies is up to all of you. In terms of how much of a handle and harmonization you get on yourselves, then it will be reflected outwardly in the world.
Okay. One last question.
Yes.
So the whole process of acceleration,
Yes.
which has been a little bit delayed because people...
No. It is not being delayed.
It's as it is for now, perfect.
It
At
is.
the moment, for what it is.
It
right.
is.
Right.
There is no delay.
That's right. But I'm saying about the dates that you used to give before
Yes.
have been just pushed 10, 15, 20 years always. Like, because something is not happening on...
Some have, and some have gotten shorter.
Okay.
If you will remember, when we first talked about the idea of your world becoming a member of the Interstellar Alliance, we first said 2037.
Right.
Today we said 2033 might be the soonest it could happen.
That's incredible.
Do you understand?
That's incredible.
All right.
So it just feels good when you talk about this coming years. You're always optimistic in the way you put the picture of our acceleration.
It depends on your point of view. We have said some things that people might not take optimistically, but again, the optimistic part is that we tell you what energy we are sensing and let you know that you always have the opportunity to change it in a way that is to you positive.
Okay. Is there anything that could be done on helping the axis of the Earth by maybe imprinting the maps of the stars on the poles, or just meditating, being guided into certain meditation into that?
What you typically call meditation and or prayer with regard to breath, so yogic breathing, steady, rhythmic, multiple person yogic breathing and prayer chanting can be utilized to harmonize the vibration of the electromagnetic field or aura of the Earth to create more balance and smoother shifts. But this is already being done by many people. You can certainly join those that are doing it. It is one of the things that many Tibetan monks are doing on your planet, and many Native American groups are also doing on your planet, and it does have an effect.
Well, thank you.
It comes from the heart. Remember, with every single beat of your hearts, you are actually sending out a spherical electromagnetic pulse at the speed of light. You are all immersed in each other's electromagnetic heart pulses. When you synchronize and harmonize yours with the Earth's, others can pick up on that vibration and fall into lockstep with that harmony. This is why many people have also discovered the vibrational frequency of the Earth somewhere around what you would call your 7.5 to 7.8 cycles per second. Understand that your typical heartbeat is about 10 times that. So it's an absolute mathematical factor of that. And all you have to do is to get into synchronous harmony with that vibrationally and know that with every heartbeat, you're actually sending out that electromagnetic pulse to, in a sense, help regulate, soothe, harmonize, love, balance, enlighten, energize, excite, support your Earth and all the people thereupon it. You are literally swimming in each other's hearts. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does this help you? Yes. Thank you. Our heartfelt thank you. You may do the honors for 3 questions.
Justin Eldridge.
Number 1.
Joseph T.
Number 2.
And Johnny Eastwood.
Number 3. Cha Chu Shimi in my language. 1, 2, 3. Cha Chu Shimi. All right, you may proceed.
Good evening, Bashar.
And a you good day.
This has been a most informative evening. I've been listening and enjoying what you've had to share.
Why, thank you. We are always deeply informed by all our interactions with all of you.
I was thinking of what question to ask you, and I am completely blank on that. So
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You have answered all your questions. You don't have to have a question, you know. You can simply have a discussion. Is there a statement you would like to make?
Not at this time. I just am appreciating what you're having to share and the opening that you've created in the people here.
Then we will reflect to you also our deep appreciation at your being. Thank you for being a part of all that is and enriching the totality. Good day.
Thank you. I think I do add to that, is there anything you would like to tell me that I have yet to ask?
I see. One moment. What is your full Earth name?
Miles Justin Elledge.
What area of your planet do you reside upon?
A little town called Montrose.
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 The Mount of Roses.
Yes.
Then that's your clue to pursue. Follow the Mount of Roses. Do you understand?
I was following the Mount of Olives earlier.
Follow the Mount of Roses now. See what that brings up for you. For where you have resided is a clue to something that can enlighten an aspect of your total being on a spirit level. Follow the roses on the mount. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My name is Joseph.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joseph.
Yes. And recently I've been studying a healing modality. It's quantum healing.
Yes.
And through this process, I've learned, when I was a kid, I've learned very curious about quantum physics.
Yes.
And through the years, I discarded it because I thought, well, this is great stuff, but how do you use it?
Oh, all right. And now, have you pulled it out of your trash can?
Yes, absolutely, out of the shredder.
All right.
And I've been having some interesting dreams and also experiences in the physical, quantumly, some of the things you've talked about.
Yes.
And one of those is some being has been trying to channel through me.
All right.
And like as yourself, but I'm having a little difficulty.
All right. Well, they don't try.
Okay.
They let you determine the pace.
Right. There's a control issue there, I'm sure. And I just...
Well, if you say so. Now, you can understand, if we may address this first before you continue.
Yes, please.
Thank you. What is the worst possible thing that could happen if you allow that information through? In your imagination.
Talk in weird languages and fly around the room or something.
Do you see the channel before you doing any of that?
No, I sure don't. No.
All right. Are you being facetious?
Yes. Definitely.
Are you sure?
I can actually picture it.
All right. If that were to happen, would that be so bad?
No.
Then what's holding you back? If you feel something is.
Well, that's the question. I don't. I want it to happen, and I've actually been to a couple of channeling sessions.
Yes.
And I've had a dream the other night. Let me just describe it very quickly.
Oh,
here.
all right.
I was in bed.
Yes.
And I was spinning.
Yes.
And when the channel tries to come through, and as I was going to sleep.
Do you mean when the entity?
When the entity is.
Yes.
Okay. And my girlfriend said, "Oh my gosh, you have 5 ascended masters that want to take you on a trip with e-ticket ride, and you're resisting it." And I was arguing.
All right.
In my mind.
And what was the argument?
The argument was, well, I really don't want to lose control. It's a control issue again.
Yes, and
right?
I said, use your imagination. Mm-hmm. What is the worst possible thing you are afraid might happen if you let it through?
Well, but here's what happened.
Yes.
They did take me. I said, okay, I'm going to let it go.
Oh, all right.
And we went to the sun. I mean, it's just instantaneously our sun.
Yes.
All of a sudden, it turned into an invisible sun.
Yes.
I didn't know such a thing was possible in
all
the quantum mechanics and the black holes and the wormholes, and it's very absolutely interesting. And then I passed out after that. I don't remember anything. And
all right. Well, it's in you. There's more in you.
Yeah.
There was more on the journey than that.
I'm sure.
But you remember that much.
That much. And then later on, when I woke up,
yes,
I argued. The entity told me their name.
And
I argued with the entity. I said, well, no, that doesn't sound right. And
what was the name?
I don't remember.
Oh, all right.
Because they
That's
said
because you argued.
Yeah, write it down, and I didn't write it down.
No,
so
all right.
So anyway, but that was a little part of the quantum trip journey, and I guess one of the things is I don't know what it is that I'm using to block that.
Well, you just said it. It's a control
issue, yeah. But how do you let go of the control? I thought I've...
All right. Well, I'm attempting to take you through the process.
Thank you, yes.
So ask the question, what would be the worst thing you'd imagine might happen if you did simply let go completely?
Okay.
And the answer might be...
something cool.
What would you be afraid of? The only reason you would have a control issue is if you are afraid that when you, quote unquote, give up control, something negative might happen.
Right.
Otherwise, there wouldn't be a control issue.
Yeah. I mean,
so look in yourself and answer what might be something you're afraid negatively might happen if you, quote unquote, gave up control, although we'll address that phrase in a minute.
And I think part of the answer is just coming up now.
Yes.
Because I really consciously don't know it.
I know.
But
I know you do know it, so let it come up.
When I was, again, going through my process as a kid,
yes,
I studied, the witchcraft, this and that. And the negative
witchcraft?
Entity, the one you're in.
Thank you.
So, I've studied about the dark entities, this and
that.
And
I guess there's a
part of that. So even though when you're working with a higher realm, a higher vibration, that's not really possible. But, I have...
All right. Well, you've said it right there. Like unto like. No. However, you're not sure about yourself. You know you have a dark aspect, like all of you do. Like everyone does. Except the one. But that's all right. That's all right. Acknowledging you have the dark side and allowing it to be an equal choice to the light side is what allows you the freedom to choose the light manifestation, not be afraid that a dark manifestation will occur in contradiction to your choice. Yes. It's allowing them to be equal choices that gives you the power and the ability to choose and know that your choice will stick. It's only assuming, by definition, that the dark side somehow has some mysterious ability to overpower your choice that you then give it the power to appear to do so.
Right.
But you know all this.
Right. Well, but now the process that you go through with your channel,
yes,
there's a conscious and then there's, an unconscious?
Yes, there are many levels to it.
Different levels. So how is it that you actually interface with our discussion now?
Well, first and foremost, to address the specific aspect in your question that most connects to this conversation, the channel going in knew there would be absolutely no reason in this life for him to have chosen to bring anything through that was not going to in some way, shape, or form be of benefit.
Is that a conscious decision? Or subconscious or superconscious?
Both.
Okay.
It just became the obvious choice. In other words, to put it pragmatically in your language, the channel said something to himself like, why would I bother doing this if it wasn't going to be for a good reason?
Yeah.
And therefore simply settled within himself that even though there may be things that would come up in the process that may appear to be difficult or a struggle or quote unquote negative, those would only be reflective of his own resistance to the process, his own resistance to discovering more about himself, and could not, in any way, shape, or form, actually be a negative entity outside of himself. Therefore, he simply trusted that on some level, even if it wasn't conscious, he knew what he was doing, and so did we. Because otherwise, there would be no point to it.
And the decision was made to go into trance or not into trance as the same way?
Well, the decision was simply made by being attracted to whatever methodology simply worked best for him.
Yeah. And there was no way to...
It's not exactly what you would label a trance. Oh. It's actually a state of hyperconnectivity, much more like a very deep and active daydream. Okay. Where many things are not in the outer world paid attention to, but it's not technically what your scientists would label as a trance. All the different brainwave functions, what you call the theta states and the delta states and alpha states and so on and so forth, are all there, but they're kicked up several notches, even though they remain in relative position to each other. Mm-hmm. It's a state of hyperconnectivity to more dimensions of the self, and allows us the opportunity then to connect to him on a level that's more similar to the dimension in which we are used to operating.
In all the different realities?
Yes.
Well, that sounds a lot more exciting than,
yes,
ooh, you're taking over the body.
Exactly, because that's not what's actually happening.
Yeah.
The body is not invaded, it is not occupied, it is not inhabited, it cannot be. There is no space for anything to actually come into. In actual fact, even though I understand completely that from your time-space linear perspective, it seems as if your spirit and your soul is in your body, it's actually the other way around. Your body is created within your soul. There's no room for anything else to enter it. So the way this is achieved in a quantum physical connotation is through resonance identification, like tuning forks. The channel has been trained to achieve a certain state of resonance that's closer to the state of resonance I exist in. I have been trained to go into a state of resonance that's closer to a state he exists in. We meet somewhere in the middle. Our frequencies go into lockstep, and what you get on your end is a translation of my thought process made out of the energy of the channel himself.
You step down and he steps up.
Exactly.
In between. Now,
and a third idea is created. A third reality is created.
What is the process to go into that state where you can actually...
Well, again, there are many different kinds of processes. The channel availed himself of what you would typically call a series of guided meditations in a channeling class. But you never know. Yeah. You may be taking a walk along the beach every day for 572 days, and suddenly on the 573rd day find yourself completely in the appropriate resonance state to allow yourself to identify with another level of beingness.
Yeah, like zapped by lightning or something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Some people have actually done it that way.
Right, exactly.
Each to his or her own.
And I've always thought that as far as channeling is concerned,
yes,
that is so neat, because all of a sudden it just happens without having to think about it.
It is, when allowed to be what it truly is, absolutely effortless. And the reason it does work is because everyone is already everyone.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, in this moment.
Yes.
Because that's eternity right there.
Yes. So it's just allowing yourself to find a little bit more of that state of being in whatever way works best for you, and simply open the floodgates.
Open the heart, right?
Exactly.
Basically.
So.
Yeah, like you were talking about.
That's the gateway. Now, it is, of course, in conjunction with the mind and the body, but the heart is the gateway, truly, through which the resonance identification is made. And you have really put your finger on it because, as you know, you see examples of, shall we say, telepathy or telempathy or channeling in your world all the time, when people know exactly what another person is thinking at the same time, feeling exactly what they're feeling, and you have a very concise term for that state of being. It's called being in love. That's what it is.
And that's the strongest force in the universe, isn't it?
It is
Creation.
the universe.
Yeah.
It is the substance of the universe. The vibration of the universe is what you translate in your time-space reality as unconditional love.
And that's how,
Yes.
to me anyways, the
Yes.
quantum physics really is proving that force
Yes.
is that, with
Yes.
the superstrings and all the
Yes.
wormhole, all the stuff.
It's
that's
all
going,
the same
It all basically
thing.
boils down to that.
Yes. Your
Force.
scientists are simply finding terms to label these things with that they can relate to. But they're saying the same thing that has been said for thousands of years by what you call your mystics and yogis and so on and so forth. It's all the same.
Wow.
And it all boils down to being in love
With life and everything else. Yeah.
with everything, including yourself.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. One real quick thing.
Oh, yes.
On the sun, you mentioned about there really is a transparent sun?
Well, there is, but you have to understand that what you're perceiving, I'll put it in scientific terms, is a star in a state of quasi-dimensional flux.
Ooh.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's not in one dimension or another,
Right.
and thus invisible or transparent from the perspective of the different dimensions it brackets or borders or bridges.
I've never read anything about that. I didn't know such a thing existed.
Well, there's a lot of things out here you people have yet to discover, you know.
Yeah,
a
apparently.
lot of things you have to discover, even about your own solar system.
Yeah.
You are going to find rudimentary evidence of life on Mars. You're going to find rudimentary evidence of life on Europa. You're going to find phenomenology in the outer planets you can't even believe exists yet. You have a lot of things to discover. It's a wonderful place.
How the solar system connects to the solar plexus, too. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, that's
There are no accidents in your labeling of things.
Yeah.
Son,
Thanks, Dad.
thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
We appreciate you as well. Number 3, shimmy. Cha chu shimmy peth pon kashimi kets ro shamung si sha shu sai bo. Yes.
Hello, Rochelle. This is my first time here.
All right. It is my first time interacting with you. Thank you.
Lovely.
Speak up so that all may hear what you have to share.
Okay, I had a back...
Use your electronic amplifying device.
I got it right in front of me, so I'll try my best.
All right.
I had a back surgery, and I'm in more pain now than ever, and I just wanted to see if it's going to heal and what do I need to do myself.
What was the original cause of injury?
A torn disc from work, a work injury.
One moment. Have you found yourself drawn to any particular place on your planet lately?
Not really. Like what?
Like somewhere in the Himalayas?
No,
Not at all.
not really, no.
All right. Is there a place on your planet that excites you more than any other place?
Yes,
What?
probably Hawaii, islands,
All right.
getting away.
All right. When will you go there?
This year, hopefully sometime.
When will you go there?
Oh, you want specific dates?
When will you go? Well, when do you want to start healing your back?
As soon as possible.
When will you go there?
As soon as possible.
Thank you. If you will, begin the process by lying on the warm sand, being in the warm water with its particular mineral content in that area of your world. Some healing will begin over the course of a few weeks. Also, some of what we have already talked about can be of great assistance to you in terms of detoxification and putting into the body the proper organic nutrients to allow the body to heal itself as well. So you may also take advantage of the products that we mentioned from that particular company, American Botanical Pharmacy. All right?
Yes, I will.
Start there by being in the appropriate environment that you have described, and understand that part of your journey even though it may begin with the H in Hawaii, may end with the H in Himalayas. Even though that doesn't seem like a strong attractor now because it's farther down the line. But begin also the healing process with the idea of truly tapping into your highest joy. Do you feel that it is time to make a shift in career? Have you forced yourself to not be able to do what you were doing through the injury and do something else?
Yes.
What?
Basically, I'm just trying to... I was an electrician before, and I can't go back to that because I can't...
Well, what direction would you like to go in? What would you like to do that you might find more creative as an expression in life? Because that has a lot to do with the healing process and the speed of healing as well. Do you have any musical inclinations whatsoever?
Only that I listen to it. I can't play any instruments.
Would you like to?
Sure.
What?
Piano, maybe, guitar.
Is one more exciting than another?
Maybe piano. Just
all right. Besides that idea, we'll let that one ride for a moment and see what synchronicity brings you as an opportunity to learn to play that instrument. But aside from that, is there something else more specifically in your mind you feel would be a more creative expression in life?
Yes.
What?
Humor, comedy.
All right. Stand up, as you say?
Stand up, write it, act.
All right.
All aspects.
When will you begin to do this? As soon as
possible. Yes. ASAP. I won't forget
Act it out.
Okay.
Act it out with friends. However it is, you need to do it to simulate the reality first. If that's what needs to be done, do it. Put together an act and perform it. Start getting used to it. Start training your body consciousness to become familiar in that environment, in that reality. This is your opportunity. What you have done to yourself is shift your gears so that you can really move in a direction that would actually give you more support.
Okay.
All right?
Yes. And I have one other question too,
yes.
please. My mum has rheumatoid arthritis, and another gentleman here asked me about rheumatoid arthritis and what we can do.
All right. Once again, at the risk of sounding overly simplistic, understand that about 90% of all the dis-ease on your planet originates from the fact that your systems are highly toxic. Not from any other cause. Opportunistic organisms take advantage of the fact that you are trashing your immune systems with toxins and thus can exacerbate and create many other kinds of conditions. All of it begins with the idea of cleansing the system with a strong detox program, especially for things like rheumatoid arthritis, which are the cause of the buildup of certain kinds of toxins in the system that allow other kinds of mineralized deposits to build up where they shouldn't. So all of that will go away. 80 to 90% of disease and symptoms will actually vanish from the people on your planet if you just simply allow them to empty their system and clean out their system of the toxins they have been packing into their systems for year after year after year after year after year after year after year after... How old are you? After year after year after year after year after year.
Point taken.
Thank you. Start with the flush and see how much better they feel even just with that. Then putting the proper nutrients to allow the body to heal itself. Miracles are the natural order of cleaning yourself out and putting the right elements in. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a wonder-filled trip.
You too, sir.
As soon as possible.
Well, I will get on that immediately and as soon as possible.
Thank you.
And this has only enlightened me to move at a soon as possible rate
yes.
and get it done. And thank you for your time and everything else, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your timelessness. We will, at this counting of your time, remind each and every one of you You have your own reasons for why you chose to be where you are on earth. It is an adventure that you can allow to enhance every aspect of your being when used in that light. Please remember, when things seem darkest, when things seem down, when things seem at their heaviest, if you really want enlightenment, then just lighten up on yourselves. Let go of judgment. You don't need someone else's baggage in life. You came in with everything you really need to take with you. Whatever other baggage someone thought you needed to drag through your life, you don't need. Drop it. Shake out your hands, physical and spiritual, and start walking taller and lighter on the earth. You will accelerate greatly when you're not weighed down by things that have nothing to do with you. The more you are yourself, the more you will actually be capable of helping everyone else also choose to be themselves. Because they will see by your example what they can also be, not that they must choose it, but at least you give them the choice by choosing joy, love, and excitement for yourself. And they do work. There is nothing in creation that contradicts the choices you make that you believe most strongly are the ones that are your preference. There is nothing in creation that contradicts the choices you make. There are no interruptions in your life. Everything that happens is there for your reasons to use as you wish. Use them in the way you prefer to use them so they can be seen and felt and experienced in an enriching way. And you will see and hear and feel and taste and smell and touch. Everything will take its cue from that state of being. Be that state of being because you can. You don't need another reason to do so. Just be who you are because that's who you are. That's reason enough in the eyes of creation. You don't have to justify your existence, because if you did not deserve to exist, believe me, you wouldn't. But you do exist. And so in the eyes of creation, it must be necessary, it must be important that you are a part of all that is. Without you, each and every one of you, each and every one of us, each and every being in creation, without us all that is wouldn't be all that is. Be your part of all that is in all the ways you wish to be. That's your birthright. It is your soul right. We extend to you our deep appreciation in allowing us this transmission and sharing with you, and we deeply appreciate the gift that you have given to us in allowing us to experience the unique manifestation of creation you have chosen to be, and it opens our eyes to that many more ways that creation has of expressing itself. We thank you and bid you all a fun and exciting good day. How'd it go? Good? You have a good time? thank you all very much for being here tonight, and thank you. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.